split.
1, 2, 3.
I don't know if you can hear me. I'm pretty sure you can, but I'm whispering because it is 8:42 on a Sunday morning and all of my family is definitely asleep. And I don't want to be rude. Hopefully you guys can hear me pretty okay. All right. But welcome back to Cooking with V, where we go from the closing table to the kitchen table / the kitchen island. I'm also whispering because my throat kind of hurts. I'm not going to lie. I got tea over there in the corner. So that's a thing too. But today we are making breakfast. And it's as simple as that because I may have procrastinated recording this episode, if I'm being transparent. I may have done that. But we're cooking breakfast and we're talking about comparison. We actually have a topic today. That's wild. Love that for us. All right, let's get into it. Also, we're working with another angle today because the sunlight is better over here than it is over there. Plus, we're going to be at the stove anyway, so it is what it is. We're making pancakes, we're making grits, we're also making eggs, but the eggs are just going to stay in there until right now. We don't really need everything out. So, very first step is our grits. We're making them on the stove and not the microwave. So, grab a pot and boil some water. Okay, so 3 cups of water. Ooh. You didn't see that. 3 cups of water, and now you're going to sit it on the stove and let it boil. All right, we're going to let that boil. Forget about it for right now. Stick our grits over there with it. Now, this is protein-packed flapjacks, protein-packed pancakes, but basically. Make sure you're looking at the directions on your boxes if you have these boxes. So, we could have made cookies. That's wild. So, for flapjacks, we could make waffles. We're making pancakes. All right. For flapjacks, 1 cup of this and 3/4 of water. Okay. So, 1 cup of this, 3/4 of water. 1 cup. Here we go. 1 cup of this. Okay. So, 1 cup of this, 3/4 of water. Now, we're talking about comparison because I feel like that's something everyone goes through at one time or another. Okay. And if you don't, great. Good for you. Okay. I'm here to tell you to not compare yourself. Do not compare yourself to anyone other than yourself. Do not compare yourself. Comparison will steal your joy. Okay. Because when you compare yourself to other people, especially in the life of the internet, you're not seeing everything. You're only seeing the highlights of their life. So it's always going to kind of make you feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough, because you're only seeing their very best. Okay? Does that make sense? Whatever is happening here, it's irritating. Very much. Okay. 3/4 cup. We got 1/4 cup. 1, 2, 3. 3/4 cup. Get us a spoon, mix this together. While we mix these together, we're going to take a skillet, sit it on your oven top, and you're gonna put it on medium, okay? And then we're gonna mix this up. Okay, and then comparing yourself at all ages of life is not right. So of course this is a real estate kind of sort of channel, as well as really mostly just cooking and talking about the Lord and a little bit of real estate. That's how I look at it. But never compare what someone else is buying to what you're buying. Never compare someone else's experience of buying and selling a home to what your experience is going to be, because it literally could be the exact opposite. if your friend is telling you, oh, this is how it went when I bought my house, da 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 da, but then your friend bought their house in a buyer's market and it's a seller's market, comparison there makes no sense. Or if it's the other way around, they are telling you how horrible it was buying because they bought in a seller's market and you're in a buying market. The market is always changing, so comparison, don't do that. The only comparison that should be done is your real estate agent doing a CMA, comparative market analysis. That's the only comparison that should be doing. Anyone should be doing when it comes to you buying a house or selling a house. Okay, do not compare your process to your friend's process. It's always gonna kick you in the butt. Okay, and then I want to add cinnamon and sugar to this because I want cinnamon sugar pancakes. So one moment. All right, brown sugar. I'm not sure if it's a lie I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I feel like brown sugar is healthier than normal sugar. If that's not true, hey. So we're gonna take 1 tablespoon of brown sugar and then tablespoon of, there we go, tablespoon of cinnamon. That actually may be a lot, but there we go. Now you're gonna mix it together. Mix it. All right. This is the consistency we're going for. See how much we got? Oops. Let's clean that up. Okay, so since this is all mixed up and this is obviously boiling, we're gonna get a little closer to the stove so we can start cooking everything. Okay, so first we're gonna start with the grits because they're very much boiling. Okay, so what you're gonna do is we are making 4 servings of this, so we're gonna take 3. Okay, we're gonna do 3/4 cup of the quick grits and then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So our handy dandy 1/4 cup, we're gonna do this 3 times. So 1, 2, actually that made more sense because now it's empty. All right, now 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Get us another spoon, and I'm just gonna mix her a little bit. Let me go back to the instructions because I don't honestly know what to do next. Okay, so it says just to keep stirring it until like your desired consistency. But do I turn the heat down, or cause it's kind of getting out of control? I'm gonna turn the heat down a little bit, and cause consistency is not changing at all. I cannot mess up grits. I'm not gonna mess up grits. I should have put these in the microwave. All right, so we're just gonna keep stirring that in there. Let that sit for a little bit. And now this is nice and warmed up over here, so let's get some butter. We're gonna take a little bit of butter. There we go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stir this up a little bit more. Add more butter. The reason we're adding so much butter is because I saw that's how you get. We're adding so much butter because I saw that's how you get perfect pancakes. So We want perfect pancakes or flapjacks. All right. Okay. Now we're gonna put our grits back because I feel like they'll behave now. They're getting to a good consistency, so that's good. They're still very much popping. They're still popping, which concerns me a little bit, but we're almost to the consistency where I'm gonna take them off. So we're just gonna keep stirring. We're just gonna keep stirring. We're just gonna keep stirring. The grits really just tried to take me out. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Okay, we're getting somewhere though. My sister would want me to put cheese in these. Am I gonna do that? No. She can put cheese in her own. Actually, we're gonna stick it on this back one on low because I feel like it'll behave back there. All right, back to the main attraction. Now you're going to take a spoonful and dollop it in there. All right. Okay, now the secret for pancakes is you wait for the bubbles on the outside. Let me show you. You see them bubbles? We want bubbles around the whole thing. You want bubbles around the whole thing. And now, we just about got them. And now you're gonna go in, flip. Look how perfect this looks. So this is done. Flipped her. Alright. Leave her on this side for a little bit. Get a plate. Our first flapjack done. Now you're gonna get more butter. More butter. And then you're gonna take another spoonful. The key is you don't wanna put too much batter on this thing, okay? You don't wanna put too much. We want small little flapjacks. Too much batter, you're not gonna be able to flip it. It's probably gonna be gooey on the inside. Nobody wants a gooey pancake. All right, so we're gonna let that sit. And we're gonna go back to the grits that tried to take me out. All right. Great consistency for the grits. We already put salt in here, so I'm gonna take some butter. There we go. And you're gonna mix the butter in there. I'm gonna turn that one off. Mix it, mix it, mix. And then we're gonna get some black pepper. Bang, black pepper. All right, now you're gonna sprinkle it, sprinkle it, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle it all in there. And then we're gonna mix it. Great. Cool beans. Actually, we're gonna turn this back on and we're gonna put it on the lowest setting. And we're just gonna let this sit over here. I sure made a mess right here. All right. Now it looks like it's about time to flip. Yeah. I could have left it on that other side a little bit more, but hey. All right, now we're gonna grab our eggs and start that process. All right, so our second flapjack is done. And I'm killing it with the flapjacks over here, okay? So we're gonna take our eggs. We're making scrambled eggs because I really don't feel like making sunny side up eggs. I love sunny side up eggs though. I would rather a sunny side up egg than scrambled eggs, but sunny side up eggs take more effort for sure. Okay, no eggshells. 4 eggs. Actually, I may do 5 because we are making food for everybody. My mom doesn't really like eggs though, so she may not eat any. But still gonna go get another egg. All right, 5 eggs. Grab us a fork and whisk these babies up. All right, now we're gonna mix it, whisk it, whisk it, whisk, whisk. Pat this down. whisk up. And you're gonna put salt and pepper in your eggs. And we're gonna take our little flapjack off. Three fat flapjacks to get down. Okay, so you're gonna sprinkle a bit of salt in here. There we go, not too much. There we go, and then black pepper. Black pepper was over here. Dash, dash, dash. All right, so our flapjacks are done. We are now making eggs. So take your scrambled eggs and you're just gonna pour it in. And this goes in the sink now. All right, now you're gonna turn it up a little bit and you're just gonna move it around. We're gonna add the cheese in later, but for me, weirdly, sometimes I can't tell what's cheese and what's uncooked egg, so I like to add it when the eggs are cooked. So yeah. Now, back to our topic, comparison. And I always kind of said just don't do it, but it is kind of hard not to do it. When you see others, especially around your same age, and they're kind of doing something that you wish you would be doing, try to use it as motivation. And, you know, try to use it as motivation and just be happy for that person. Comparison, the moment you compare yourself to that person though, the moment you're like, I should be there, again, you're stealing your own joy away. Because no, you shouldn't. You're exactly where you need to be. If you were supposed to be there, you would be there. And then let's think of the reasons why you're not there. What's different about, you know, their life and yours? And there's a lot of different things. Also, again, most of the time when you're comparing yourself on social media. Or you're comparing yourself to people you know. Now, my sister recently told me, she was on an Instagram Live. Two of our friends that we grew up going to church with said their parents would tell them to be more like me and my sister. And that was wild to hear. Like, that was really wild for my sister to tell me. And my sister said that it broke her heart when she heard it. Definitely breaks mine, because the time period that they were being told to be more like me and my sister, we were like maybe 14, 15, 16. And I was not a perfect child at all, in the slightest bit. Like, when I tell you I was getting in trouble, I was very sneaky. I was very sneaky in that time period. I was doing a whole bunch of stuff I didn't need to be doing. I mentally was going through a lot, and literally, I don't think they realized what they were wishing their kids would do, but it wasn't all peaches and cream like they assumed. Now, at that time, I definitely still had a relationship with the Lord. And for me, I think that's a little worse. Whereas if you don't have a relationship with the Lord and you're kind of doing your own thing, okay, there's not a standard you're being held to. But no, I was being held to a standard of, I knew the Lord and I still was kind of just doing whatever I wanted. I was a teenager. I was like, okay. Now, I wasn't a horrible kid. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying that no one knew what was going on behind closed doors. And there was a lot of stuff that was going on. Like, me and my sister were very far from perfect. Yet, and then to hear that someone was telling their kids to be more like my sister and I, when I didn't want to be, at that time, I didn't want to be myself. I don't want to go back to that time period in life. For the simple fact that I was a teenager doing teenage stuff. I was getting in trouble. So, yeah, don't compare your kids. That's another thing. I can't imagine my parents telling me to be like someone else other than myself. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare your kids to anyone. That is heartbreaking. Don't do that. Just don't. Because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know their situation in the slightest. Okay, so the eggs are just about done. We're going to put cheese on them now. We've got the cheese. If I had a dog, I would do cheese tax, but I don't right now. So, right, we're going to take a handful of cheese, sprinkle it on top. Sprinkle it on top. And then you're going to mix it in there. Mix it. And the eggs are done. So everything is done. Now we just gotta plate everything. It's now time to taste test. All right. I say I did a pretty good job. I haven't made grits in forever though. These are pretty good too. Not sure if you saw the steam come out of my mouth right there, but it's still very hot. Probably because they sat on the heat longer than everybody. But cheers. Thank you for watching Cooking with Fee, where we go from the closing table to the kitchen table. Come back same time, same day, next week for another recipe. Even though this wasn't really a recipe. It was, but it wasn't. And don't compare yourself to nobody. Jesus loves you and he made you special. The only person we want to be like is Christ. Let me put that in there. The only person we want to be like is Christ. Let me say it again. The only person we want to be like is Christ. Nobody else.
1, 2, 3.